Thank you to everyone who is here with us live. Is everyone having an amazing transformational experience today? Yes, I love it. And to all of you live streaming with us, we hope it is the same for you. Thank you for being with us. Can everyone here in the live room say hello to our live streamers?
Hello.
Yes, that is an amazing way to remind us that there's no such thing as time or space. We are all in this space together, experiencing and just being wherever we are on our consciousness journey on that spectrum. It is safe to be here. It's sacred, a sacred space for you all, and we're just so honored to have you here and grateful. And we are, speaking of honored and grateful, I am so pleased to present to you our next speaker, Julie, am I pronouncing it? Tooten. Julie Tooten. I wanted to make sure I asked you before and it already went out of my head. Julie is an amazing artist, a designer, and an energy healer. And I can attest to this next part, whether creating elixir, gemstone jewelry, coaching, or energetic treatments, Julie loves creating beauty and reverse aging for bodies. And for all of you who are here live with us, you don't miss going to Julie's booth. And she doesn't, pay me my dollar to say that. I just know because her jewelry is so beautiful and modern, and it is, spiritual jewelry for the modern day. And I don't have it on today, but one of my favorite necklaces is by Julie, and I get stopped all the time. And it's also because I feel so good wearing it. So that is, I did not mean that to be a plug, but I just wanted you to know my own personal experience. I'm rather obsessed with her jewelry. And I digress. Today with Julie, we will learn how not to take on other people's energy so that we can be our sparkly selves. I love that. Julie will guide us to staying true to ourselves and to shine confidently so that we can bring more ease and joy to our journey. Sounds great to me. You're in for a treat. Without further ado, let's welcome Julie.
Thank you, everybody. It's exciting to see so many faces here and hello online. This is actually my first speaking in public at one of these kind of events. So just imagine yourself standing up here. What would that feel like? And you know what's interesting? With all the training that I've gone through, it doesn't feel any different for me than sitting in the chair, which is a testament to the choices I've made and building that muscle of being able to be yourself, even in front of a camera, in front of people. It's something that takes practice, but anybody can do it. So let's just start. How many of you feel overwhelmed when you're in a crowd? Sometimes, yes.
And the after effects of being in the crowd.
And the after effects, absolutely, yes. And are you sensitive to other people's moods? Can you tap into your significant other or your parents or your kids and know if they're being grouchy or crunchy or pissed off at you? And you don't even have to be in the same space with them, but you can pick up that information. What's interesting is that a lot of us pick it up, we're sensitive to that, but we don't necessarily acknowledge the awareness. And awareness is something that every single one of us has. It's whether or not we pay attention to it, and what do you do with awareness? What if you don't have to have it glom all over you? What if it doesn't have to stick to you? What if you can just see it, observe it, and be like, oh, okay, they're upset. No problem. I get it. And from being the space of you, be this space that has no point of view, a space of allowance, of whatever it is that they're going through. And being that actually gives them the opportunity to change. But when we fight against it, resist it, or even align and agree and be like, oh yeah, you should be pissed off, or whatever it is, we're solidifying what they're experiencing. So the more we can be, wow, that's interesting, sorry you're going through that. What space can I be to melt what's going on in your world? Even if you don't say the words, you can just be it, and it's very potent, and it actually works. How does that sound? Everybody's like, I don't know. How many of you shrink from perceiving other people judging you? Judgment, not wanting to be wrong, feeling like you don't fit in, other people projecting things at you and expecting you to be or do a certain thing. Do you all sense those things too? Yeah, people do it all the time. So what would it be like to acknowledge that and not have to change yourself as you're experiencing it? Yeah, it is possible. What if your awareness is a gift, not a curse or a problem? Just because you're aware does not mean you need to fix, handle, or change anything for anybody else. And as a matter of fact, if they're not willing to have it be different, you can't. They'll hold on to it. Even all of the healers here, if you're healers or empaths, it doesn't have to be a burden. We have to just start to get, is this person willing to change? Do they want to let it go? Do they like their upset? And it's really strange to ask these questions and get a yes. They like their upset. Oh my gosh, who knew? But they do. And that's not wrong, and it's not a problem. It's just for them to hold on to or them to let go of. So I want to do a clearing about this because I feel like we're all so habituated toward wanting to help heal, fix, and change everybody else so that we can relax, right? So, all right, before I do the clearing, I need to tell a little story. When I was married and had 2 young kids and all the things with the activities with kids and laundry and stuff and my business, I was a jeweler, still am. I went to my chiropractor because I had neck pain, and I sat, oops, I hope I didn't hurt the microphone with that. And I sat on his table and he asked me this question: what is a pain in the neck? And I was like, oh, the kids, my husband, the laundry. And he said these magical words that I had no idea what it meant, but instantly the neck pain went away. And the words were I found out were the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. That's a bunch of words and acronyms that helps clear the energy on all these different levels. So let's get to that energy that I was just getting at, where you want to help heal, fix, and change things for people that most of the time don't want to have it changed, even though they say they do. We know those people, right? So everywhere you have that in your DNA where you want to help heal, fix, or change, and they're not willing to have it change, will you destroy and uncreate the need to do that regardless. That's where you all
Yes.
say yes or no. Yes?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Come on!
Yes.
All right. Right and wrong, good and bad, autumn talk, all 100.
Woo, yes.
Shorts, boys, POBAD, species, creations, and beyonds. That phrase is like abracadabra. It's the Access Consciousness clearing statement, and it clears all kinds of things, even if you don't know what they are, and even if you don't know what I just said.
Right.
But it's basically the judgments, positive and negative judgments that we attach to energies and things, right and wrong, good and bad. And then Pod and Pock is the point of destruction and the point of creation. These are different points where it was created in the world and it destroys other possibilities. And it goes on with 100 stories and other things. The Access Clearing Statement is amazing. You can use it yourself on anything. And you can even just say Pod and Pock or Pock and Pod. Even if you don't know what it means, it'll still work.
How do you spell that?
P-O-D and P-O-C. And you can say it either direction. Pod and Pock, Pock and Pod. It sounds like popcorn. But it's like, you know, whatever you're facing, or if all of a sudden you have a headache and you're like, what is that? What am I aware of? Everything that is, Pod and Pock. And it will change it. It will change it. Especially if you catch your awareness in the beginning. A lot of times we don't, and so we hold on to stuff, and then we're so powerful that our minds create it as a physical ailment in our bodies. So everything that is, ooh, did you feel how heavy that got? Everything that is, let's destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, Pod and Pock. Whew. Cool. So, so that's one tool. Another tool that you can use is asking questions. Like, what is this? What am I aware of? What else is possible? Every single question you ask changes the energy from something solid to starting to be malleable and changeable. And then what? And then what's possible? And then what choices do you have? But if it's solid and it's an answer and it's a conclusion, you're stuck with it. You notice how that happens? So all the conclusions that you've come to about all the problems in your life that you can't seem to change, will you destroy and uncreate everything that you made solid and real and turn it into a question?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, Pod and Pock. Yes. Okay, so what else did I have here? There's a bunch of stuff about me when I was a kid. Like, what do you guys want to hear about? What are you here for?
Not taking on others' energies.
Okay,
Because, you know,
right.
You're the big helper, you know, you have that kind of ingrained in you.
Not taking on other people's
I think
energies.
that's what attracted me the most.
Yes, yes. And I'm repeating it for the live stream audience. So how is it that you normally handle your awareness with other people?
You show empathy.
Okay. And where did you learn that empathy meant to take it on?
As a kid,
Right.
to be nice.
To be nice. Neurotic, insecure, what's the C? I don't know, and emotional. Let's not be nice. Kind is different. What if we were kind to ourselves first, and then, you know, like put the oxygen mask on first, and then help others? If we are totally turned in an outward direction and sensing and feeling what everybody else needs, wants, desires, and requires, we are not including ourselves. And a lot of people go, oh, that's bad and wrong, I'm just gonna do me. But it's not about being either or, it's about including. So you've already got everybody else included. What would it be like to start to include you in your awareness? So that every choice you make includes you and your happiness and everybody else. So everywhere you've decided that it's better to handle everybody else first, and eventually maybe you'll get to yourself, will you destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, hot and hot. Okay, so from there, oh gosh, my mind just went totally blank. It's so cool. You know when your mind goes blank, you know that you're being. When the mind goes away, you the being get to play. So, including yourself. The way I like to illustrate how our awareness works is we're like this big satellite dish and there's thousands of stations. And we tune into the trauma drama station all the time, the family station, the work station, everybody else's stations. But when do you ever get to the channel of you? Do you even have a channel? You should. Is it static noise? Like, what is the channel of you? What is it that you came here to be, that if you weren't so focused on every single other person, oh, the computer just went. If you weren't so focused on every single other person, and you included you, what would that be like? How do you create your life by only looking outside of you? What is the energy of you? And what if you didn't have to have a one sentence answer, an elevator pitch answer? Oh, I'm a da 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 da. It's like, no, you're a being and you have a body. How did you get so lucky? But the being is not this tiny little thing, it's infinite. And usually, when we're focused on everybody else and all their problems and trying to solve those, it makes us shrink as a being down to the tiniest possible size. And it feels really heavy to be that contracted. One of the other tools I like to share is that heavy and contracted is an awareness of what's not true or it's a lie, and expanded and light is what is true for you. So, when you're making choices and they start to feel heavy and you start to contract, what if you asked, what else is possible? What else could I choose to actually expand my life, my possibilities, whatever is going on? And what does that even look like to expand? Have you even experienced it? Let's do it. Do you want to do it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to, but you can. Just relax. Relax. Let any stress melt down through your body, through your feet, down into the earth. And just sort of scan your body from head to toe. Do you have any tension, any aches or pains? Breathe into it. And just be with your body. You can feel your feet on the floor, wiggle your toes maybe, and feel your butt on the chair. Feel your hands in your lap. Now, let's expand out beyond our body, filling the space of the room that you're in. And it doesn't take any effort, it's just, there you are. All the way up to the ceiling, all the way down to the floor. Now let's go beyond the walls, beyond the ceiling, beyond the floor. And creating this big, spacious bubble around your body. And even just right now, just that space, does your body feel more relaxed? And let's go even further. Let's encompass the entire city of San Francisco and deep down underneath the bay and up into the sky past the Milky Way. And notice what you notice as I'm asking you to expand your being. It doesn't necessarily have to feel like anything. Being doesn't feel. It just is. But you can know. You can know if you feel lighter. You can know if you feel smaller or contracted. It's just a knowing. You don't have to think about it. So let's pull some earth energy up through the space that we're being, up through our feet, through our bodies, through our head, out the top of our head. Giving your body some yummy, nurturing earth energy to enliven it. Maybe you haven't eaten much today. You can pull in energy and feed your body without having to put food in your mouth. Does anybody notice that they're tingly a little bit? Do you notice that your head is quiet of thoughts? This is the space of being. And in a group, it's really easy to expand and perceive a shift. When you're on your own, sometimes it's a little harder. Sometimes you're like, I can't. I'm trying to expand, but I can't get there. So it's like a muscle, like anything else. Going to the gym, doing a group class, you get the energy of the group. It helps you move through. And sometimes doing it on your own takes a bit more effort. But even if you just practice for a few moments every day or once a week, expanding, you're gonna start to notice that it becomes easier to be that space. And then maybe you open your eyes and you don't come back down. You can stay expanded. From this space, you're like the $6 Million Man, for those of you who remember that show from the 70s. Like, he could see a bullet coming for miles and go like that. It's awareness. When you're expanded, your awareness is expanded. So you can see things coming, not necessarily physically with your eye, but you can perceive and you can know, I think I'm gonna go this way today. And then you miss a car accident. Or I think I'm gonna take this flight instead of that one, and things work out easier because it feels lighter. And you may not necessarily cognitively know why you're choosing these other things. They just feel light. But in doing so, it creates more lightness in your world. And when you come up against something that feels heavy or contracted, you might not want to choose that. You still can, and you can get your awareness and you can strengthen it by going, oh, yeah, that was heavy. Maybe next time I'll make a different choice. And one of the examples of this was, gosh, I think I was married, but I didn't have babies yet. So it was like 30 years ago. And we were coming home from a flight into San Francisco, and we were gonna get on one of those shuttles. And I was like, I don't know if I wanna take the shuttle. And my husband's like, come on, let's just do it. And so we get in, and I felt this tremendous heaviness. And I was like, I wanna get off, I don't wanna be here. And he's like, no, let's just stay, it's fine, I don't wanna change. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, we get off of the airport and onto 101, and the car breaks down. And we were stuck on the side of the freeway for an hour and a half until another van could come. And we were the last people to be dropped off. So it took us like 2.5 hours to get home after a long flight. Not the best choice. But that taught me I was aware. So even if I didn't get it right, who cares? You can build your muscle of awareness, choosing correctly, choosing wrong, choosing whatever it is that you choose. You know, oh, maybe I'll go home with this guy. That feels heavy. All right, maybe I won't. And be willing to change your choice, because you have infinite choice. We just think that we only have 1 or 2 choices, or maybe we think we don't have any choices. Everywhere you think you don't have any choices, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 100 shorts, boys, 12 out spaces, creations, and beyond. Yeah, it turned off a little while ago.
I know, tried to get it back on. Sorry.
Oh, well.
The energy you create is just too
Yeah.
powerful here, Julie. Okay, now the computer's going back on, let's see.
So let's see. What else did I want to share? Is this helping? Does this give you a sense of something different? Okay, because like I've been doing this for a long time. The Access Consciousness tools, I've been facilitating classes for 21 years, and they've made an amazing difference in my life. But even before that, even when I was a little kid, I was always different. How many of you know you're different, but you're trying to be normal and fit in like everybody else? I think everybody should be raising their hand, come on. And you just know that you're different, but you're like, don't anybody notice? And you know, what can you do? So I was always different, and when I was a little girl, I learned Reiki, I learned meditation. I was 9 years old when I was doing this stuff, and doing book reports on reincarnation, and my parents were like, who is this kid? But it was just so light for me. I kept gravitating towards that, and they kept trying to squish me down. And they used to call me a shrinking violet, because I was supposedly so shy. And I bought that point of view and the projection for a long time. But no shrinking violet would be standing up here. So I guess I had to destroy and uncreate that point of view to be able to share these things with you guys. And what if the things that you were told and taught and projected and put on you when you were young weren't true either? It was just something that somebody had to do because they felt uncomfortable with your difference, or maybe your potency. So everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it? And have
Yes.
more choice. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 100, shorts, boys, collabs, bases, creations, and beyond.
Could you teach us to reiterate that? We could just say it back and forth. maybe?
Yes, I
Okay.
have a YouTube channel
Okay.
that has it broken down and that talks about what each of the things are. And yes, it's on there, and if you got one of these little postcards, Julie June Energy, you can find my YouTube channel either from this or from my website. What other questions do you have? We still have like, yeah,
What if you're stuck with someone in a car, you know, like a family member that you've had history with that you know, like this person's super crabby all the time?
yeah.
What do you do?
What do you do when you're stuck in a car?
Yeah.
With
Or like
somebody
a
who's
house, you know,
cranky,
you're visiting
or a house.
family.
Yes. Well, what choices do you have?
Yeah,
You
we're
know.
all living with housemates galore and all
Right.
different, there's all, you know, and I came to that conclusion, like, you can't really isolate yourself and escape it, so.
Right.
But like, there's one person in particular who's like, she's gonna be there 2 days a week, so I try to like reshape it. And-
Yeah, you can't isolate yourself. I'm repeating so that the recording picks it up. You can't isolate yourself. And have you ever noticed that even trying to shut off your awareness doesn't work? It just doesn't work. Drugs or alcohol or, you know, earplugs, or whatever, it doesn't work because you're aware, because you're a big satellite dish and you're gonna be aware. Really, the only thing that makes it palatable is to expand out 1,000,000 miles in all directions. And then you have the space to possibly make some other choices. Like maybe I'll step out, maybe I'll move, maybe I'll put some energy in their world that makes them wanna move. Or, you know, there's a million different possibilities. The thing is to not lock down and think that there are none.
Just letting you know we're back on, sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry you missed it, you guys. It was awesome, but go to my YouTube channel. You can experience some of the expanding exercises that I just did here on my YouTube channel as well. I used to do a weekly expanding exercise on on Facebook, and then I put it on YouTube, and it's just really interesting to practice being the fullness of space of you. It creates something that only you will know. Each one of you will do a different thing with, and it will gift you the potency of your creative ability to create what you came here to be. What have you come here to be? Do you even ponder that? Or is it like I grew up, you're supposed to get married, have kids, have a house with a white picket fence, right? I did all that, and then I was like, wait a second, something not quite right with this picture. I'm not fulfilled. So I kept searching, and the work that I facilitate is not about me, it's not about the people that created Access Consciousness, it's about empowering you to step up and be you in your life. And when each one of us does that, we change the world. It's not about like fighting anybody or doing anything fabulous, unless you want to. So for me, I like sparkly things. I'm wearing a sparkly shirt. It's not the holidays, but I wear sparkle a lot. And for some people, they're like, oh, I couldn't do that. Why not? So do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever makes you feel light and you will create a ripple effect in the world that comes out from your social circle. And it melts people's cranky. You could also, in your head, you could also pock and pod everything that they think is making them cranky, because that can sometimes work. So I would play with it. Play, have fun, choose again. Empower yourself to know that you are aware, that you can make different choices, that you don't have to be at the effect, ever. And if it comes down to it, like, go for a walk, go out into nature, because that's when you also can relax and have your being just naturally expand, because the tree's invited. But, you know, I feel like it's just not enough to be it in nature. What if you can be a tree walking through the world? What if you could be that amount of peace where other people could drop all of their crap and be themselves around you? We could be a little forest right here. So that's what I wanted to share. Are there more questions? Uh-huh.
What classes do you have coming up?
What classes do I have coming up? I probably have a few that I haven't quite put on my calendar yet. But you can look on the events page of my website, julietootenenergy.com. Thank you. And there's all kinds of things. There's one about clearing houses and space clearing. This is part of the Talk to the Entities curriculum. Anybody can join that. You can learn how to create just a more peaceful space in your home and your office or whatever. And especially if somebody has haunted house, like, you can learn how to deal with that. There's also entities and money. But I also do coaching to help people find what their sparkle is, or dating coaching, or breakup coaching. There's all kinds of things. I just love seeing people bloom into who they are, and you know, if it resonates with you, I'd love to work with you. So, thank you so much for coming. Oh, the jewelry, I forgot. 1 second, don't leave. I take all of this awareness and energy and awareness of gemstones and create these elixir pieces that are pieces that you can wear, and it kind of reinforces the energy that you would like to be in the world. I do gemstone readings and tap into you and what it is that you're looking to create, and create custom necklaces and bracelets. But gemstones in themselves have an amazing energy, and they do love to contribute to your body. So come by the table, or go to my website, julietooten.com. That's my jewelry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
May I have one video card?